Go ahead.
My name is John Tumwebaze, Executive Director of ASOD Uganda. I'm very happy working with the ASOD, and I'm the founder. After looking at a number of children in Uganda who are suffering, and basically because of lack of education, their parents have died. Some of have died because of HIV/AIDS. Others have died in the wars, northern Uganda, and so many other diseases. As you see, in Uganda, the death is an order of the day. At 40 years, parents are dying. So it was a call for me to think about starting up an organization to support the children. My target was to look at the adolescents who tend to be excluded in the national planning and elsewhere, because when we look at orphans and vulnerable children, we find whom we call OVCs. We find that we look at 0 age to 12 years, and we tend to neglect the adolescent age. And this is a very delicate age which needs attention and support. So ASOD is targeting 11 to 18 years, and basically we thought of giving them tools to fight poverty and support their families, because majority of these children, 60% of them, they are the they are the leaders of the homes, because they have their siblings, their younger brothers and sisters, and whom they look after. So if education is an economic empowerment, excuse me, education is an economic empowerment to make sure that these children can get money and they can support their families. In Uganda today, we have over 2 million orphans and vulnerable children who need support, and all these children have or less have no support. But ASOD Uganda is a unique organization that is trying to look onto such children to make sure that we can support them the best that we can. ASOD started in 2004 as a grassroots charity. In 2005 July, it was registered as a national organization, and we have 3 sectors, that is education, sustenance, and psychosocial support. And in education, we came up with a project which is Millennium College and Vocational School, looking at Millennium Goals to empower our children through Millennium Goals. We have worked directly with the carers to make sure that we support these children. But we have achieved a lot in whatever we have done to support these children, because we have got children who have been on the street, they had no homes, and they have started from senior 1 to senior 6 and become very important children in the community. However, we find that there are also a number of challenges. When we have the children after senior 4, senior 6, they have nowhere to go because of limited funding, and they end up again on the street. But because they are mature, they can go on buildings to construct, they can go elsewhere. So that has been a big challenge without having a reintegration program. However, why would we call it Millennium and Vocational School? We call it Millennium and Vocational School because our target is to make sure that we train these children basic education and also practical education, so that they are able to do some work. When they are finishing senior 4 or senior 6, they are able to do their personal work which can make them have a sustainable life. Although we find challenges in vocational training because we don't have tools and it is very expensive, so we have decided to go on having a few practices like art and craft, training them in singing, entrepreneurship, how to save, how to make money, and skills of marketing. And that's not enough, because we feel that they need to go and with practice, with practical skills, so that they can be able to stand in the competing world today. We think that we need to put up vocational skills like carpentry, bricklaying, tailoring, which we had begun some time, but because we could not maintain the teacher of tailoring, it stopped a bit. But we need to look at all this. There are other courses like shoemaking, embroiderment, and a list of them. So we call upon the people who may need to support these children. You are welcome to support them in any kind, supporting them to have food, support them to have education, support them to have anything. As I said before, that we have 3 programs, basically education, sustenance, and psychosocial support. And as we looked at education, and we are now going to psychosocial support. Psychosocial support, this is support that we give to both the child and the carers through counseling, home visiting. At school and at our orphanage, we do counseling with the children. This counseling is integrated. It is both for academics and to also to integrate these children who have been on the street and who have lost hope into the system, and also to bring them on board to their parents or their guardians. So we have made sure that we take them to their guardians, we make home visits, we follow them, we talk to their guardians, because most of these children are living with their stepmothers and their aunties, and they have been abused in one way or the other, by beating, by burning them. So it is really a very big problem for them. So it is our role to make sure that if we are taking up this child, we integrate this child to their homes, and we talk to their guardians, so that they are able to accept this child and able to support this child in one way or the other after they are finished with the programs at ASOD. Then sustenance looks at clothing, feeding, and also water, like electricity. All that is in sustenance. When you look at girls, the girl child needs, all that is in sustenance. So we've got a program that is supporting sustenance, and that is art and craft, basically for girls, to make sure that this child is able to get the basic needs required for the girl. So all these programs are integrated and they work together. It is a privilege to work with these children who are adolescents. They look so stubborn, and that's why some people avoid them. But it is very, very interesting to work with them. And if left outside, if they're excluded, then the country is at risk, it's on danger, because they can do anything. Remember, this is an age that is not old and not young. They don't have where they belong, and they look for attention, they look for a belonging. And if no one is paying attention to them, then they look for their own way, how they can survive, either through stealing, robbing, killing, raping, becoming sexual workers, all dubious things that I can mention. So it is upon everyone out there to think on how to support these children in Uganda, whereby the mortality rate has increase it, and the children are left alone without care. So it's upon them to think of how to survive, and if they look for their own survival, then that means they would have to look for it through very bad ways, and then everybody will be affected. I thank you, everyone out there. I thank you for listening to me. Thank you very much.